All right, we'd like to thank everybody for taking time to look at our video. What we're going to do, we got Glenn here. He's never tried to fight his own product, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a few different demonstrations on him. We're going to kind of use him as a training dummy. So we're going to show you how to do different poses so you can do different demonstrations. Of course, you only need one or two simple ones. You don't need to do all of these. We just want to kind of show you how to do them if you get ready to. So first of all, let's do what we call the attention demonstration. Glenn, if you would put your feet and your toes all the way together, and you want to make sure that their toes are all the way together, not like this, because then that's not balance, that's strength. And what we want to do, we want Glenn to stand up like he's a steel tower. We don't want him to cave in at the waist here. We want him to stay straight up. And when I push down on his hand, we want him to feel when he loses his balance, when he starts to tip. That's what we're looking for. We want to show somebody their balance before they try the product and after. So what we're going to do, we're going to have Glenn look straight ahead, be straight up and down. I'm going to push down on this arm, and I want him to just feel that he's like a tower. Just feel when he starts to tip over. And I'm going to put my right leg out a little bit, so if he falls, he tips over, we don't all fall on the floor. So what I'm going to do is make a fist, and Glenn, I want you to hold my fist, and I'm just going to push straight down, okay? Okay. And I try to keep the back of my hand against his pants so that he knows I'm not pulling on him, because then he would think I'm trying to pull a trick on him. So he's going to look straight forward and be at attention, and he just wants to feel when he begins to tip over, okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Okay. So you see how easy that is? You just push down. You don't have to push down hard on most people, and they'll tip over and have to move their feet. So that's one of the things that we do. Another one they call the airplane pose. What I want you to do, Glenn, is put your arms straight out like you're an airplane, okay? Right. And I want you to lift up this leg up off the floor and get your balance. Now what I'm going to do, you can't hardly get his balance. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push straight down on his wrist, and I want you to resist up and feel when you start to tip over, okay? Okay. All right, I'm going to put my fingers up so he knows I'm not pulling or pushing on him. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go. Push up. Resist up. And you see how easy it is for him to lose his balance. Okay, so that's just a simple matter. You just push straight down on the back of their wrist, and they begin to tip over. So now let's do what we call the athlete pose. Now the only time you would need this one is if you're dealing with somebody who's more balanced than the average person. They'd have to be way balanced. Maybe they do a lot of meditation and eat a lot of healthy food and don't have cell phones or whatever. But if you find somebody who's more balanced than the average person, this is what you want to do. So that you can see it better, we're going to have Glenn turn to face me. What I want you to do is put your right arm straight out, put your left arm out to the side that way, and I want you to lift up your left leg at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to help him hold his pose here, all the way up if you can to a 90-degree angle, all right? And then I want you to tuck your chin down into your stomach. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press down here and here, resist up, and he begins to fall over. Once again, you only need to do that if they don't tip over with the other two poses, then maybe they're more balanced than the average person, because everybody's out of balance to some extent one way or the other. So if they don't tip over that way, you can do the athletic pose, which is simply one arm straight out in front of them, the other one out to the side, the left leg up at a 45-degree angle, and then their chin tucked in down towards their chest. Okay? Now what we want to do is a little strength test. We're going to have Glenn put his feet shoulder width apart as they are there. And I'm going to ask him to give me his right arm. Now, you haven't had any shoulder surgery or anything like that, have you? No. All right, what I want to do, I want you to hold your arm out in a minute, and I'm going to press down, and I just want you to feel your strength, okay? Okay. All right, so hold your arm straight out, look straight ahead. Are you ready? Ready. Resist up, resist up. And we can see that Glenn's pretty strong. So what we want to do now, we're going to give him the cell phone. It doesn't have to be transmitting, it just has to be turned on. But if it is transmitting, some cell phones don't give off as much radiation as others. So if somebody's really strong and their cell phone doesn't get much radiation, all you have to do is have somebody call them on their cell phone and have it actually in a conversation mode when you do this, and it'll blow your mind. So what we're going to do, the cell phone's just turned on. We're going to have Glenn hold it up to his other ear like he's in a conversation. You want to make sure they actually have it up to their ear, not out like that, because we're showing what the radiation does. Okay? Put your arm back out, same thing as before, look straight ahead. You ready? Ready. Go, resist up. And see, he's lost his strength. Could you feel the difference there, Glenn? Definitely. You can feel the difference in the strength. Okay, so that's how we do a little strength test. There's another one that we can do. Are you right-handed or left-handed, Glenn? Right. All right, what I want you to do is take your middle finger and your thumb, put the tips together, and hold them tight. And I'm going to try to pull them apart. Okay. I'm going to use my two fingers to try to pull his fingers apart. Not this one, just the two. All right, you ready? Right. Go. And see, I can pull his fingers apart. All right? So that's testing his grip in his hand right there. Now let's do one more. What I want you to do, Glenn, is keep your knees stiff, and I want you to bend over and see how close you can get to touch the floor, how far down you can go. We're going to try to See how far it is, and then see how far it is afterwards. See if you get any more flexibility. A little bit more. Can you do more? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, so what is that? That's about 6 inches, 7 inches or so from the ground. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and give him the Phytoson. Get you a glass of water there, Glenn. We're going to let him try the product here. I'm just going to put one out in the capsule so we don't be touching somebody else's capsule. Now, we just get one out of there. There we go. All right, now take that and drink a good half a glass of that water. What we want to do, we want to make sure that he drinks a lot of water, gets good and hydrated, gets that capsule down in him good and everything. Sometimes you can actually let them bite the capsule before they swallow it if you want to, but I understand that it doesn't taste that good. So what we've done now, what the Phytoson does is it helps to bring you into balance, into what they call homeostasis. Things that push our bodies out of balance are things like stress, negative thoughts, gravity, pollution in the air and the water and the food that we eat, EMF from cell phone radiation like we just showed, radiation from computer screens and big screen TVs. You may know, if you know anybody who works in an office on a computer all day, they don't actually do physical labor, but at the end of the day they're worn out. And the reason is because that EMF is making them weaker, as we'll show with the cell phone again in just a minute. That EMF is making them weaker all day, so they're being pushed further and further out of balance, out of homeostasis. Well, the further our bodies get pushed out of balance, the more susceptible we are to aches and pains and all kinds of things that might come along. But if we're more in balance, it gives our bodies the ability to operate at their optimum capacity so that they have the most ability possible to fend off cell phone radiation.